Don't forget to go to ashkicking.com for pound the best home health and beauty fragrance.
We're here.
Now let's try this. Now walk up to me from there.
Okay. Do the same thing?
And do the same thing.
And you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So Anthony Joshua, he defeats Joseph Parker in a very, very close fight. What the judges had it, which they had it one-sided for Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua, he did his post-fight interview. Now, before I get into what Anthony Joshua had to say about Deontay Wilder, I want to say credit to Showtime. Credit to the entire Showtime team and I believe he was a UK reporter, the one that interviewed Anthony Joshua in a post-fight interview, because he was extremely impartial. He wasn't afraid to ask the questions about Deontay Wilder, which I thought I wouldn't be surprised if they would have just ignored all Deontay Wilder questions. But they asked him the questions. Not only did this guy ask Anthony Joshua about Deontay Wilder, but he kept the pressure on Anthony Joshua when Anthony Joshua kind of danced around the question about Deontay Wilder. When Anthony Joshua was doing this post-fight interview, Anthony Joshua, he said, and I quote, "I'm the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world." This is when the reporter said, well, I guess this is the best time to ask the question, do you want to be the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world? And Anthony Joshua, he said 100. He said 100. And then the reporter, he said, but you do understand, in order to be undisputed, you have to fight the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. This is when Anthony Joshua, he said, well, you asked me if I want to be undisputed. Of course, that's what we're aiming for. And then he started pointing at his belts. He like, look, I'm the WBO, I'm the IBF, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. He said, look, we could talk to Eddie Hearn. That's my trainer right there. And he's saying all of these things, but he did not mention Deontay Wilder's name. So for a third time, the reporter asked him the direct question again. So do you want to fight Deontay Wilder? And the image that you guys see on the screen right now, this was Anthony Joshua's exact reaction to that question. Kind of like he was getting irritated with this guy constantly asking him about Deontay Wilder. Then Anthony Joshua, he continued to say things like, look, I'm not about the hype. You know, I'm about the business. I'm more about the business. Once again, he said, you know, we could talk to Haymon. We could talk to Eddie Hearn. And this is when the reporter continued to put pressure. And this is when the reporter said, well, do you have a message for Deontay Wilder? This is when Anthony Joshua, he said in response, yeah, just like Dylan White said. And then he yelled into the camera, let's go, baby, let's go. Kind of mocking Dillian White. So it wasn't necessarily him saying that he wants Deontay Wilder next. In fact, not one time in this interview did Anthony Joshua ever say, I want Deontay Wilder next. Which is pretty damn ironic if you think about it, because when Anthony Joshua was calling out Vladimir Klitschko, this is exactly what he did in post-fight interviews. Right after his previous fights, he called out Vladimir Klitschko. I want that fight. Let's do it. He volunteered this information. This was something he personally said he wanted. He didn't say, you know, it's up to Eddie Hearn, it's up to Vladimir Klitschko's promoters. He was telling people what he personally wanted. But for some reason with Deontay Wilder, it's the contrary. So once again, it's unfortunate because this is the biggest fight in the sport of boxing, okay? This pot roast has been in that slow cooker for at least 24 hours on high. If you know anything about some damn cooking, it only takes about a good 8 hours to cook a good roast in a slow cooker. I'm gonna leave it at that. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. Brooklyn, New York. It's going down. We out here for the Wilder versus Ortiz fight. It should be a great fight. Once again, I'm loving it out here in Brooklyn, New York, from Las Vegas, Long Beach to Brooklyn. This is how we do it. On to the next one, y'all.